Tragedy in Jacksonville. A spaghetti-armed little nerd shows up at a Madden competition with a laser sight on his fucking gun and unloads on the other players that are better than him at the video game because he can't handle the competition. What a sad fucking event to have happen. But hey, even the cloudiest day has a silver lining. At least now you have an excuse to whip out those old-fashioned Madden gift generators one more time. Too soon? Is it a little bit too soon? The bodies aren't cold yet? Maybe I'm jumping a little too quickly into it? Should give it a little bit of time? Because nothing would be more embarrassing when a fucking tragedy happens. To just jump right into it. What kind of a scummy fuck would you have to be desperate to be the first to the story? Well, maybe you'd be a reporter. I don't know. They're known for sliding up in people's DMs. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine being so desperate to get information out first that you'd do anything to accomplish that goal? Even possibly, potentially releasing the wrong name in your exuberance to beat out the competition. Breaking. Jacksonville's shooting suspect has been named as online streaming personality Paul Danino.
This guy's kind of famous, so anybody who interacts with him gets more viewers. Gotcha. So we think she's doing this for attention.
Laura the dumb boomer loomer. Miss Wetbread herself. That's a little bit of a fuck up, isn't it, Laura? But it's not her fault. She was out collecting fucking boulders with her friend, and her tires got slashed, so she wasn't in control of her Twitter account. That was somebody else. But you know, she deeply regrets this tragedy. She's so very fucking sorry. Our star reporter, putting out the wrong fucking name. Have you ever wondered why it is Sam Hyde, as a meme, constantly gets brought up again and again every time there's a fucking kidnapping or a terrorist attack or a shooting?
Something bad is gonna happen tomorrow. Trust me, you guys. I got a feeling about this one.
It's because of dumb fucking reporters like Laura Loomer, who will take any piece of information waved in front of their fucking face, like a hungry dog gnawing at a pork chop. Yes, there's nothing like a fucking tragedy to bring out the hottest of takes, isn't it? Don't we love watching news outlets and reporters just get right fucking in there and release their bullshit to the masses? Like this piece at Kotaku. It's time to talk about Jewish hatred of blacks. Wait a minute. That's a fake article. But this one isn't. Jewish gamer suspected of shooting two at Jacksonville video tourney. Holy shit. What neo-Nazi fucking outlet is this? Since 1897, the Forward has been a leading source of news, opinions, and culture through a Jewish lens. Holy shit, they actually wrote an article with that headline. What the fuck?
We're breaking the conditioning! Ah! Ah! We're coming for you, globalist! Ah! Coming for you!
But it's not going to end there. There's going to be talk about all sorts of shit. I put a poll up because you could almost predict the ways this is going to go. There are going to be a few topics, and people really split on it because they're all so selectable. We know what reporters, we know what the talking heads really want to push as a message, even before the facts of the fucking case are out. So people are really divided. Which way is this going to go? Well, Tariq Nasheed, of course, weighs in immediately. The first person who was targeted and shot at the Jacksonville Madden Tournament massacre just happened to be a black man. You don't say, Tariq. A black dude playing Madden. Wow, he must be like a unicorn, huh? The Jacksonville shooting suspect is a white identity extremist from Baltimore. He shot a black gamer first, because the black gamer won a game over him. Then he shot several others. It looks premeditated. Why else would you bring a gun to a gaming convention? Authorities finally identified white identity extremist David Katz of Baltimore as the shooter in the Jacksonville Madden convention. This is not a gun control issue. This problem is the gaming community provides a platform for these types of extremists to fester anonymously. I don't think he was a white identity extremist. I think he was a Jewish dude, at least according to the Jewish outlet and that fake Kotaku article. But I think Tariq might be onto something. After all, the BBC is a WMD.
Black people, we have the genetic capacity to annihilate the entire planet sexually.
Only Tariq Nasheed could tell the world that my dick is a fucking nuclear weapon. So we've got the reporters out there, we've got the talking heads already injecting race into it. And then, of course, you've got other people that are going to make it a gun control issue. Like Aaron Greenberg saying that he really hopes people will stand up and demand changes in our laws. A GM, a games marketer at Microsoft. Well, Mr. Greenberg, I think you're right. We need to change those laws. Let's ban violent video games. I'm glad Microsoft is behind that message. It's time to draw a line in the sand. You could go onto Twitter right now and enter Jacksonville and gun, and you're going to see the names you would expect to see. People just popping up and injecting this shit. Of course, toxic masculinity, that's got to be a cause. It's the dude bro culture of gaming. Or violent video games are inherently violent and make you more violent, is another hot take on it. So you got race, you got gun violence, you've got people chomping at the bit to assign whatever rationalization or justification for why this crazy little faggot went out and did what he did. But here's a crazy thought about David Mad Katz and maybe the motivation or the thinking behind his actions. Maybe David is a little bitch. Maybe David's the kind of little bitch that can't handle losing at a video game. When you put it in any other context, it looks insane, doesn't it? Imagine you're playing a game of basketball and you hit a three-pointer and the asshole on the other team whips out an AK-47. Imagine playing a game of checkers and telling your opponent, "King me," and he pulls out a fucking hand grenade. That's David. That's the insanity that David has fallen to. Because he couldn't take a little bit of shit talk. Because he couldn't handle a little bit of banter. Because somebody's better at a video game than he is. He's going to start shooting motherfuckers and then shoot himself. It would have been a little more respectable if David had just shot his own dumb ass. But no, he's got to shoot other people. And of all the video games for it to happen to, it had to be Madden? Fucking Madden, a football game? How's that going to play out with the violent video games make you violent shit? This wasn't the fighting game community. They weren't playing Street Fighter. This wasn't a CSGO event. It wasn't fucking Call of Duty or Battlefield. It was football. It was fucking Madden football. We gonna start having protests in the street because sports make you go crazy? Was David driven to the edge because of pigskin paranoia? I swear to fuck, every one of these dumb little cunts is always the same. It's always the same kind of asshole. It's always some fucking sped that goes on a killing spree. It's always some tard having a fucking rage fit. "Oh, my name is David and my feelings are hurt. I'm not good at video games." Maybe go play something more your fucking speed, like Nintendo Labo. Why are you showing up at a video game competition if you can't fucking compete? And don't tell me people can't deal with shit talk. You can watch compilation on the internet of people being shit talked directly to their face.
There's gonna come a point when you forget about what happened, and you're gonna want to come back at me. And you're gonna want to wash the taste of my dick out of your mouth.
And now we got places like Evo talking about installing metal detectors and people talking about introducing new laws and talking about the effects of video games on the mind. How about instead of banning guns and banning video games, how about we just ban retards from competing in video games? How about we have like an autism test at the door? We put a little toy train, a little wooden toy train on a track at the entrance. And if anybody so much as stops and looks at it, they can't get in to play the fucking competition.